Hello friends, welcome back to my class. It's Safia Qureshi here. Today we are going to learn a poem named Leisure. In English, it is stated in 8th standard textbook of Maharashtra State Board. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the poem in detail and stanza-wise explanation, the rhyming words and the rhyming scheme used in the poem, and the figures of speech used in the poem. The poem is written by William Henry Davies. He was a famous poet and writer of his time who lived in Wales and spent much of his time as tramp in United States and United Kingdom. His theme included observation on life hardship, the way the human condition is reflected in nature, his tramping adventures, and the characters he met. I want to clarify that the word tramp means wanderer basically. So whatever he has observed in his life while moving from place to place, he depicted that and reflected that in his works. Let's see the poem. What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows. No time to see when woods we pass, where squirrel hide their nuts in grass. No time to see in broad daylight streams full of stars like skies at night. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life this if, full of care, we have no time to stand and stare. Now let's see the meaning. Some words in the meaning have different kind of reference here. So we'll see the first words, then I'll explain you stanza wise. The word care here means worries and stress. The word bough here means branches of trees. Beauties is used for a beautiful girl. And the word glance, as we all know, it refers to watch. In the first two lines, what if this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. The poet is trying to explain us that the life is full of worries, and due to this we have no time to stand and stare things. No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows. In this line, the poem is trying to say that we have no time. We are so busy that we cannot stand beneath a tree and we cannot enjoy how different animals are passing by. No time to see when woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass. In this couplet, the poet is trying to give the details of observation he has made and how he is telling that we have no time. We are so busy in our own work that whenever we pass on by roads, we don't see the woods, the queue of trees, different branches of them, and how different little creatures do their happenings and different actions. No time to see in broad daylight streams full of stars like skies at night. Now in this couplet, the poet is trying to make comparison of two different situations. Now in the broad daylight, the stream is like the water streams looks like full of stars, the way the sky looks like at night. He is making a very beautiful comparison here, but he is also saying that the human beings who are busy in their own work, in their own busy schedules, are not able to see that beautiful scenario, nor at night and nor at day. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet, how they can dance. In these two lines, the poet is talking about a beautiful girl, and he's saying that we are so busy that we have no time to look at the beauty of a girl and the way she is dancing. We have no time to look at her feet, the way she is moving while dancing. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. In these two lines, the poet is talking very deep thought of emotions, where he's talking about the eyes. Whenever we express any emotion, our eyes express it at first, and then it comes to our facial expressions. Now over here the poet is saying that we are in such a hurry and rush that we don't look at the deeper sense of emotion. Before any other expression, we just ignore it. So over here the poet is trying to say that we have to look at the smile, the eyes that shine, the smile that a person shows. We have to give some time to the person. We need to look at the feelings, the intents of that emotion of the person. A poor life this is, if full of care we have no time to stand and stare. In the last stanza, he is talking that if we are so busy and we have no time to appreciate the nature, to the people around us, and to feel everything around us, and we have no time for ourselves, where we are only busy in the bodily stuffs around, taking care of the bodily necessities, we have no time for our mind and soul, then the life is really poor, when we don't have time to stand and stare. The poem is written in the form of rhyming couplets. It warns that the hectic pace of modern life has a determinal effect on the human spirit. Modern man has no time to spend free time in the lap of nature, as I explained, that people in the modern life has no time to look around to the nature and whatever it is giving to us and to appreciate it. The poem begins with some examples of what one can do to exhale the stress out of one's body. If only one cares about the body, forgetting about how beautiful and soothing nature is, it will lead the person to spiritual poverty. Now over here, the poet is giving some examples. In the starting, you could have seen that some lines are actually the examples of how you can enjoy through simple things. The poet is trying to do that. He's trying to give you some examples at how you could look around and enjoy through simple things and release your stress through that. If you are not paying attention and you're not enjoying those beautiful and soothing things of nature, your spiritual life is actually poor. The title of the poem, Leisure, highlights the fact that one should have to make time for one's mind and soul. A person has to invest their time in simple activities. The poet provides some solutions that one can follow to keep his or her mind healthy. Okay, now let's see the rhyming words and the rhyme scheme of the poem. It's very simple. The way the poet is expressing the simplicity of the nature, he has written the poem in the most simple manner as well. So the rhyming words here are care, stare, bows, cows, pass, grass, daylight, night, glance, dance, can, began. The rhyming scheme is very simple. The first two couplets have AA, next BB, CC, and further it carries the same format. Then the last two lines come back to the same rhyming scheme, AA. Now the poet has used different figures of speech to give a really good poetic effect. So the first one is alliteration. Now what is alliteration? A series of words will have the same consonant sound at the beginning of the sentence. Or we can say in simple words that when any sentence or word which has a repetitive sound, it is known as alliteration. Stand and stare. These words have repeated S sound. Therefore, it is an alliteration. Beneath and bows Over here also the sound of B is repeated in the poem, so here also alliteration is used. The next figure of speech used by the poet is repetition, when complete words or phrases are repeated. In the poem, you must have seen that the phrase "no time" is repeated in the poem. The next figure of speech is simile. It compares two things that have similar characteristics and stare as long as sheep or cows. Now over here, sheep and cows have similar characteristics, so over here simile is used. And another most common way of recognizing a simile is the use of as. Whenever you find as in a sentence, most of the time it indicates simile. The next figure of speech used in the poem is metaphor. Now what does metaphor means? It means it compares two different items that share a characteristic. Streams full of stars like skies at night. Now this line has been used in the poem where the stream and the skies having a similar characteristics of having stars is shown here. Therefore, it is a metaphor. The next figure of speech is personification. It means it imbues inanimate or abstract object with human traits. In simple terms, it refers to have any non-living thing having living traits or human beings' qualities. And watch her feet, how they can dance. Now over here, in this sentence, the word beauty is personified. If you will go back to the lines in the poem and you will see how feet is given the quality of dancing, whereas dance can only happen when the whole human body is confined to. The summary of the poem is that the poet is trying to say that one should take care of mind's peace along with their bodily necessities and should not always get busy in the modern time, in the busy schedules. One should also take care of their spirituality, their mental health, and should give importance to the nature and the beauty around them. Theme is to enjoy and notice simple things around oneself. Opposing ideas of modern life and its drawbacks have been reflected in the poem. So, how modern life has affected the peace and mental stability of the mind, and how it has made the human beings as constant machines who are busy in their own things and has no time for any other peaceful things, for even simple things, which is a drawback of modern life. This has been reflected in the poem. Now, here is a task for you. Think and answer which line proves that in our busy lives we do not even have a fraction of a second to enjoy nature's beauty. You have to answer this question in the comment section as per your thinking. Thank you for listening and watching my video. Hope you understood the poem in a much simpler manner and you understood what the poet is trying to say, and hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you.